Okay, so this question has given us some information about boys and girls. It's asking us to draw a suitable diagram or chart for this information. So diagram-wise, we could draw a pie chart. We could draw a bar chart. We could draw a composite bar chart. So there are a variety of things we could do here. So we could do a pie chart. We could do a bar chart, a dual bar chart, because we've got two things, boys and girls. So we could have that. Or we could do a composite bar chart where we have the boys and girls along the bottom, and the composite bar chart then made up of each of the categories, given a key next to it. And we need a key here as well, and a key here as well. Or we label it within the pie chart itself. So those would be the logical things to do with this particular data. It's discrete data, so it's whole number data. Can't have 3.5 boys playing hockey, so 3, 4, so forth. I'm going to choose a dual bar chart because the bar chart's fairly straightforward. We must remember when it says draw a suitable diagram or chart, then labels will get a mark, titles will get a mark. So we must make sure we are being really clear with what we are doing. So, suitable scale. Well, we can see from this, in the exam the graph paper would be better, this is just a photocopy. But I can look and see that if I measure the centimetres available, then we've got around 16, 17 centimetres available. And therefore, looking at this, it looks like we can go up in ones to make it a reasonable scale. Okay, so go down here. And again, making sure our axes are reasonably clear. Okay, so we're going to mark off Okay, so we're going to mark off our tick marks so we can write in our scale quite reasonable. So we're going up in ones, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that gives us scope for doing all the numbers because the highest number was boys football at 15. And we must label this, so this is a total, so totals are known as frequencies. So we'll have frequency going up there, and along the bottom here we're going to have type of sport. So we're labelling up, and we've got hockey to start with, so first two bars will be for hockey. Okay, so we've got two things going on, so we'll need a key because of the boys and girls. So we'll have blank for boys, and we'll have a hashed in for girls. Okay, so for the hockey, the boys was 3. So go across 5 little squares. And for the girls, it was 6. Because of the way we've done the key, let's remember to fill in the bar for the girls to show that's the girls' score. And that's for the 3 and the 6. And we put the titles in, we put our labels in, turn our key. So let's go. We need a gap because it's a bar chart, although it's a dual bar chart, dual meaning two things next to each other for each category. We still need a gap to show that it's a bar chart. So the next one's tennis. So tennis is that. For the boys it was 8, and for the girls it was 14. So again, key, so remember to put in the hashes to show that's the girls. Now I didn't leave my gap, so that's going to be a mistake from me. So I'm going to scrub. And I'm going to draw the boys to the side. As I've got a key, it won't be a problem, although it's not as neat as it should have been. And at least it shows there's a gap there between the two, and we've got the numbers in the right places. We won't lose any marks in the exam, but obviously you should have left a gap there and be a bit more careful. So football next, and for football it was 15 for the boys, so leaving the gap, 2, 4, 5, and it was 7 for the girls, so 7. And this time I'm going to make sure we have left the gap. Okay, and then for the golf, 9 for the boys and 1 for the girls. Again, make sure we leave a gap. Title, golf, and for the boys it was 9, so 9, and for the girls it was 1. Again, being more careful this time to make sure we leave the correct gap. And again, remembering the girls' key. Okay, so let's just check that we've got all the marks then. So we recognise that this data was about 2 things, 2 categories, boys and girls. It had various sports, so we could have drawn either of those, 2 pie charts, 1 for boys, 1 for girls. We could have drawn a dual bar chart, we could have drawn a composite bar chart. Chose a dual bar chart because it's fairly straightforward, as long as you remember the gaps, of course. Sorted out a suitable frequency by looking at the maximum value in the data, noticing that this could go up in ones every centimetre. Labelled up frequency, labelled up our category axes, type of sport, left the gaps for the bars, and did a key to show, excuse me, to show which was which. So 4 marks for that question. Just being careful to make sure we've labelled and drawn accurately.